Hello and welcome to my video, and today we are going to be planting 3 David Austin roses in pot. Now these are bare root roses and they came in this bag. I'll just kind of hold it up to the camera so you can see. They came in this bag and I'm going to open them up and show you what I have. So, okay, so as with most bare root roses, they do not look much. So I'm going to get them out of this bag and I'm going to soak them because you have to soak them in water. I'm going to soak them for at least an hour. So I'm going to fill up my bucket, which I'll show you in a moment. Then I'm going to take them out and I'm going to put them in, soak them for an hour, and then come back and get started with the planting. So I am using rainwater from my rain butt. And let's fill it up. So it doesn't take long to fill up, and basically the purpose of soaking them is so that it kind of like activates the roots and it makes sure that they have lots of moisture in them, and it just gives them the best start that you possibly can. Okay, that should do it. Okay, so now that I have my bucket of water, I'm going to cut out the roses. So let's cut them out of their bag. Okay, so I've carefully cut off little bits of blue string that are holding the roots together, and I'm going to pick out the first one. Okay, so what is this one? This one is Princess Anne, and this is going to go in one of my pots. So I'm going to soak that one like that. This one is William and Catherine. Again, this is another of my pot ones. So that needs to carefully go in there, like that. Be careful not to prick your fingers. Now, I have got some other climbing ones, but I don't want to plant those today. This one is Iceberg, so I'm not going to plant that one today, so that one can go there. This one is Alexandra Giro, so I'm not planting that one today. And this one is Anne Boleyn, so this one can go in here too. Just remove the string. And lastly, we have Teasing Georgia. So what I'm going to do is put these back in the plastic bag because I shall be doing those perhaps tomorrow. I'm not going to leave it much longer, but I am not going to do those ones today. Okay, so I'm going to come back in 1 hour and then we will get planting. So here's a close-up of the bare root roses soaking in the bucket. So that has been left soaking for an hour. The minimum you can leave it is about half an hour, but anywhere between half an hour and an hour is absolutely fine. So let's go and get these planted. So I am going to be using Growshaw Rose Tree and Shrub Compost. These are the 3 pots which I have chosen for my pot roses. They are in a spot in the garden that does get quite a lot of sun. Roses should get, or should be planted in a spot where they get at least 4 hours of sun a day. It's a little up close of the pot. They are frost resistant pots. As you can see, I've put some stones, or you can put some crocks for drainage. Do make sure that your container does have a hole and make sure it's lightly covered by some crocks or stones. Okay, so you don't have to use this, but I am going to be using some mycorrhizal fungi and bacteria. Now the bacteria helps the roots to extract moisture from the soil and just helps the roots establish a lot better and quicker and faster, and gives you, or should give you, better blooms in the summer. Like I said, it helps the roots to extract the nutrients and water from the soil. You don't have to do this, it is optional, but I actually bought mine from David Austin Roses. I've just put some soil into the bottom of my pot and I've pressed it down to make sure that there is no air pockets when the roots are in. I'm going to find, obviously I'm doing the middle container, I would like William and Catherine in the middle one because they have white flowers. So let's find William and Catherine. Aha, this one. So, let's take this one out and just test it to see about the root depth. Okay, so please remember to keep a towel handy, it really does help. Also, you should really wear gloves. I haven't, because basically I feel like gloves always hinder my hands, but I'm okay. Just be prepared to obviously wipe your hands when required. So that is William and Catherine planted. I did try to keep the root as central to the pot as I possibly could. That is quite difficult when you're dealing with lots of tangly roots. So I think I got that just about right. I kept compacting, pressing down the soil to make sure there was no air gaps. Once the soil is settled, what I will do is leave that for a few days. I will water it obviously and make sure that the soil has settled. If the soil level does drop because of all the water, I can top it up with some extra soil, and then I plan to put some loose grit or some pebbles on the top, just to kind of give it a little bit of a mulch and quite a protective cover. You should obviously plant to a depth where just above where the main growth meets the roots. What I'm going to do now is repeat the process with the other two roses, and then I'll come back and show you what I've done. Okay, so I'm now going to do Princess Anne. Now the one thing I did forget to show you last time with William and Catherine was the mycorrhizal fungi. So basically it just looks like that. Just take a sprinkle of it in your hands. It's quite difficult to do it. Hang on, I'm going to turn the camera around and then you can see me do it better. Okay, so I would put the rose in situ. Take some of the fungi in your hand. Make sure that obviously the root is wet or damp. Sprinkle it on and into the soil around, and that will just help. So there we go. There's a bit. I'm going to put a little bit more on, just on the root down the bottom. There we go. And that should help. So they are in. Look. So I've left a little bit of, obviously, a gap in between the soil and the top, like I said before. Hopefully that will compress down a little bit, and then I can put some chip-ins, or you could put some bark on the top. So I think they're all looking okay, which isn't bad, I don't think, for the first time that I have ever planted David Austin roses or any other rose in pots. So I'm hoping that I've done it okay. Obviously clean up your rim, unlike me, and also do remember to make sure that you recycle the bags of soil. We need to look after the planet. So let's get watering. So I like to use a watering can with a fine rose. My camera ran out of battery before I had a chance to water, so I did give them a water, but I've come back and I'm going to give them another water because, hey, you can never have too much water when you first establish. So let's give them a water. So they've already had one can between three, and I'm going to give another can between the three again. There we go. As I was saying earlier, I do prefer a nice fine rose. It's a little bit more delicate and it doesn't damage any leaves or flowers, obviously, when the flowers are in bloom. There we go. Give them a really good soak, and obviously in the summer, you know, make sure you give them at least probably a can each, at least once a week. So, share out the water evenly, share out the can. There we go. And there we go, all complete. So tomorrow I will be planting up the archway and up the arbour. Hello and welcome back to the vlog. It is the next day, it is Sunday today, and there's a few things I want to do today. I want to plant my Teasing Georgia. The other two roses to go up over the pergola I'm going to plant tomorrow. I do not have time today, but I am going to plant Teasing Georgia, which is a climbing rose, and Teasing Georgia is yellow. By the way, at the end of this vlog, I will insert some pictures and some information about the roses that I have planted today so that you can see what they hopefully will look like, because I appreciate that bare root roses are not the prettiest of things to look at. But also, on the ones that I planted yesterday, I've noticed a few little branches which I think are crossing over which I need to give a little bit of a prune. So I'm going to turn the camera around and I'll show you me doing that. And please let me know in the comment section if you think I did the right thing or not. I think I did, because I don't think you should have crossing branches where they can rub and then infection and disease can set in. So for a nice structured rose, I think it's good to prune any branches which may become problematic later. So I think it's best to get them early rather than later. So this is one of the problematic branches that I'm talking about. You can see how it's kind of touching, and I think if it's going to rub, it may cause problems later on. So I think this one may need to go, or this one. I can't decide, because this one has lots of buds coming, which are obviously future roses, but it's thin, whereas this one is thicker. But if you look, it doesn't have as many, well, I think it only has one at the top in terms of buds. So I don't know whether to take out the thick branch or the thin branch. This one is quite simple. This one here needs to go. It looks like it's going to cross over into here, and I think, you know, this branch will benefit and this branch will benefit from this one being taken out. So I'm going to do that now. Hopefully I am doing the right thing. I'm going to go right down here on the slant and chop. There we go. It's quite brutal, I know. Although what I might do, possibly stick this in the ground and see if it might sprout. I don't know. So we'll do that later. So there we go. I think that is a nice shape now. Quite a really good structured shape. And this one is perfectly fine. This one, I have no issues with that at all. But I'm just not sure about this. What shall I do? Okay, what I'm going to do, I don't know. I mean, I could just take a little bit off and hope that the rest of it grows. Okay, I'm going to take a little bit off, and then what I would like, any rose experts, please let me know in the comment section below whether I should take it all off, or if you think I've done the right thing or not. So, where's a bud? I need to take it off just above a bud. So I'm thinking here, or shall I go here? I'm going to go here for now. So there we go. I've chopped that for now. Do let me know whether I should go the whole hog. I don't want to ruin it, but at least I've taken off that bit that could be problematic in terms of rubbing. So at least it's not rubbing at the moment, but let me know whether I should take out this branch entirely or not. So literally, just as an experiment, I'm going to stick this in here. There we go, right, there we go. I've stuck that right in, and we shall see if it sprouts. I did actually do the same with this. This was a cutting that I did a couple of weeks ago, and look, they haven't died. And in fact, there's actually some leaf growth there. And all I did was just stick it in the ground, and it doesn't appear to have died, so we live in hope. This is the archway which Teasing Georgia is going to climb up. But I need to swap over this pot, which contains an acer, with this part which has a clematis in. Now what I'm going to do, I think, is take the clematis out. It's a little bit tired. I may take some cuttings from it, I don't know. But I'm going to repot. I'm going to take all the soil out of here and put the same soil which I used for the other roses, and then I'm going to swap the pots over and plant Teasing Georgias. So again, we are going to soak the rose, which will help it to establish. confused then. Okay, change of plan. I could not get the soil out of the pot. I'm exhausted trying to get it out. So I've changed my mind. I have gone and salvaged another pot. So this is the pot I'm going to put Teasing Georgia in. My goodness, I am absolutely exhausted trying to get the soil out of that clematis pot. That is a big job. So let's try the time lapse again with me putting soil in the new pot. Have it. Teasing Georgia is in. I'll have a little play around with the pot. The branches look perfectly fine. I don't have to cut anything off. So there we have it. I think that will go very nicely up the archway. So I wanted to read some of the information. Boleyn has large sprays of warm pink flat rosettes with a fruity fragrance, short rounded growth. Excellent repeating, so looking forward to that one. William and Catherine. Fragrant shallow cupped blooms, soft apricot fading to white, attractive bushy shrub, disease resistant. There we go. And Princess Anne. Large deep pink rosette shaped flowers, tea fragrance, long flowering season, particularly healthy. And Teasing Georgia, cupped flowers, rich deep yellow, fading to pale yellow on the outside, tea rose fragrance, strong graceful growth. I'm looking forward to it. I am absolutely exhausted, but at least the roses are in, apart from two. I've got two more to do, the roses which go up over the pergola, which I will do possibly in a separate vlog, I don't know. Anyway, please leave comments in the comment section of this video. Tell me what you think, tell me what you think I did right. Tell me what you think I could have done differently. Any help or advice or hints or tips, please share. We are all learning together, and I hope, if anything, that I have encouraged you from this vlog to try roses. And of course, on the channel, I will be keeping you updated as to how they progress. So please make sure you subscribe to the channel. If you have enjoyed this video, please give it a big old thumbs up. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you know whenever I upload a new video. And also please remember to subscribe to the channel. So from me in Shropshire, mwah, to you all, goodbye.